there. That sun feeling good? Okay guys, here's this little garden patch. I'm telling you, it hadn't been that long ago since I went over it with the tiller. It didn't take long to get a growth of weed and grass, whatever. You can see the pecan tree I transplanted. It's got a little wilt to the top, but we'll check it again tomorrow and the next day. I'm gonna get the chiller out and see if I can get it fired up and go over this little patch of dirt. All right, let's see if this thing will crank up. Come on, baby. Once again, we're invisible. One pass over the garden spot with the tiller. Oh, trustworthy statesman. It's counter rotating tines. I've had that thing since I was in Raleigh. Since what, 1998. So about 21 years or so. And all I did was rebuild a carburetor in it about 2 years ago when I retired. Almost 3 years ago. This July will be 3. God, I just retired. That's impossible. Anyway, Toby's up here. He wanted to get in the shot. You go out and put some sweat in the ground. Anyway, you don't need a gym membership when you have a ranch or a farm, or you get out and work in the ground like this. That'll be your exercise, believe me. There's work in it, but it's fun. You go, now how can you say it's fun and you're out there in the sun busting your butt? Well, all I can tell you is I love it. I get it from my daddy and my grandmama and all up the line. You love it or hate it. It's one of them things. And if you didn't grow up fooling around in a garden and watching your mom or dad or grandmama or granddaddy and getting out there with them, you probably won't care anything about it because you don't know anything about it. But those of you who do, man, we look forward to gardening season where we can get out there and run that tiller. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna get out there and rake through the worst spots and get that loose grass and weed up. Just rake it out to the side and go over it one more time and clean it up, and it'll look nice and be ready for that mule plow to go out. I got 5 rows laid out. I got a furrow marks the spot on each one, 3 feet apart. I don't know, probably about 65 feet long. I'm gonna take some 10-10-10 and sprinkle down through each furrow to give me a good base, so when that plant starts growing, those roots can reach down in there and grab a little extra. All right. Remove this little bust point here that I made the furrow with. Okay. Should have had my socket and ratchet out here. make short work of this. One more. That ought to stay. Remember that movie Clint Eastwood was in? I think it was one of his Dirty Harry movies. That famous line, "A man's got to know his limitations." Well, I'll be 69 in June, and I'm beginning to figure that out. Sense what my dad, my old late dad, used to feel in his bones. And you better be a man and have eaten your Wheaties when you get out there handling this thing. It'll do the work, but it'll work you, especially when you get old. Anyway, enough of that. I've got my fertilizer down, and I'm going to, I got the turn plow, or the, yeah, put on there that point, and I'm going to roll that dirt back over my row, my furrow. And I like to make, you can plant on the flat, and then as time goes by, add fertilizer and plow to it. That works, but I love a bed planting because it gets your stuff up a little higher, and if you have a real hard rain, it won't get washed out and flooded out. But I like to look at it too. You can see a more pronounced row running down through there, and it looks good, but there's a practical purpose for it. Alright, I'm going to turn this dirt back over and get ready to plant some plants and some seeds. Beds, bedded rows. Is that pretty or what? Get up, Mule. Okay, I'm gonna smooth that out with the back of my rake, and then we're gonna plant. And I'm out where they ended up. It's better plowing barefooted anyway if you got some nice clean dirt. Rows with my rake. Make that bed a little flatter to work on. That's all it takes right there. I found some different corn seed this year. This one here is peaches and cream. Look at there. Sweet corn, peaches and cream hybrid. I'm gonna try that. And I'm going to try another hybrid sweet corn, Serendipity. So that's what I'm going to plant with the corn seed. And I always plant some okra. You know, you got to have a little okra. That's something, once you plant it and once it gets up, you don't have to do anything to okra. You just have to be there to break it, cut it when it needs it. And that's like every day, every other day. Then I got some beets here. I don't know. I love beets, but I don't ever have too much luck with them. A few cabbage plants in the ground. I'm going to go with 3 pepper plants. I've always planted too much and stuff just goes to waste. This is a hot cayenne. Habanero hot pepper. We're going to have some hot stuff. And then a jalapeno. We'll have those. Bonnie Greenbell. I don't want that many, so I'm going to plant a couple of them and give the rest of them to somebody else. I had some nice looking tomato plants. These are Better Boys. They look pretty good. And then I always like Celebrity. You know, they do good. They got a good slick skin and they resistant to a lot of stuff. I think that's everything. I just can't plant
I can't plant any
a lot of beans anymore. Squatting and getting down low, it's tough on me, this old man. So we'll just go to the farmer's market. I'm gonna have plenty of corn that does good and the other things I showed you, but we'll go to the farmer's market and get our beans and anything else. I'm not planting any cucumbers. We usually have so many cucumbers I can't even give them away, so we'll just pick those up from the farmer's market. I meant to get some squash. I always like to have a few hills of squash. I might go back by the store and get some of that. So you might see some squash out in the next video. Alright guys, I'm going to get this stuff in the ground. Hey enough talk, right? 2019 summer garden is in the dirt, planted. What I got down here is 6 hills of cabbage. I know that's not a lot, but it works. Right here, this is corn in these 2 rows, but I decided to go up to that tree line and I planted 3 or 4, about 4 hills of squash. Okay, we got 2 rows of, actually 4 rows of corn. These 2 are the Serendipity hybrid sweet corn, and these 2 rows will be the Peaches and Cream hybrid sweet corn. You say, why did you put baskets around new plants? Well, the dog we have, when he gets out here running and romping and acting like Tasmanian devil, he'll run through that garden and tear those young plants up. That's why they're there. Anyway, we've got cayenne, habanero, jalapeno, and green Bonnie Bell. Then I've got 6 Better Boys on the tomatoes, and starting right here I got 6 Celebrities, and that's all the tomatoes I have. And we won't even be able, once they start bearing, you know how that is. And then the rest of this row is okra, and you know it doesn't take a long row of okra. It'll give you all the okra you can stand just for the table. What are those sticks? Those are my row markers when I was running that Mule Plow. Yeah, there's ways to do that. My old dad told me, if you'll take and drive up a stake there and then a stake back there, and then go to the other end on that row and line those 2 stakes up and drive your stake there, it'll be a straight run. That's for those who do it the old way and don't have a tractor. Over here I planted several hills of cucumbers right here on the end of that row, kind of out of the way where those runners can just have fun over there. So that's what it looks like. It's clean right now. I wish it'd stay that clean. You know, when June and July get here, there's a lot of green stuff out there besides vegetables. And I don't like that. Anyway, alright guys, that's all I'm going to show you on the garden for a while. So it'll be 2 or 3 weeks in before I show you what's going on out here in the garden. Hope you enjoyed it. Phil and Florence.